a short disclaimer. This is not legal advice. This is just some general discussion of the topic. Legal advice is highly dependent on the specific facts of your case. So if you have a legal question, you should consult an attorney about that. And also want to mention, I do have a Legal Corner article on this topic. So you might want to consult that as well. So let's get right into it. Having said that, what could a clerk or postmaster make you do? Well, that's a bit of a trick question, because being in that position doesn't by itself give that person any authority over you at all. The administrative official has some authority, and it's very likely that a clerk or postmaster supervisor could be in that position very often, is the postmaster. So if that postal official is appointed the administrative official, now there's some things they can and cannot make you do. And we're going to talk about that in this video. We're not going to talk about, except very shortly at the end, the duties, obligations, interaction with the contracting officer or the contract specialist. That's a little bit different. We're now just going to talk about the administrative official. And at the beginning, we should say that you should be advised as soon as you get a contract who the administrative official is. You should get a written notice of that. If you don't get a written notice, you should ask for it in writing. An email is a writing, so you know who you're dealing with on those things. In some cases, particularly HCR contracts, an office might be the rolling administrative officer or administrative official. In other words, it's not one person is designated that, it's the whole office designated that. That would be for HCR contracts. In any case, you need to get those designations down so you know who you're interacting with, who has the authority to serve in that position. We're going to talk 5 or 6 different topics. We're going to talk about the administrative official's duties, what authority they have, your required interaction, what the administrative official cannot do, and we'll end with some special situations. First, let's talk about the administrative official's duties. Administrative official has a duty to advise a CDS contractor on casing and delivery of the mail. In fact, as some solicitations say, the standard term in a CDS solicitation says that a bidder, doesn't even have the contract yet, can contact the administrative official to learn more about the details on casing and delivery of the mail. So there you have that. In any case, once you do have the contract, the administrative official has the authority to review and approve your method of casing. Now, what happens if the administrative official imposes an unreasonable method of casing or delivery, or if the administrative official refuses to approve what you consider to be a reasonable one? Well, now we may have a contract dispute. We'll talk about that in the special sections here, how you might go about that, because the contract doesn't say exactly what that would be, exactly what they could order you to do on casing. The administrative official is to provide training to a CDS contractor 3 hours per day over 2 days. Most importantly, the administrative official is the eyes and ears of the contracting office and is to ensure compliance with operational requirements. And there are 4 general duties. 1, monitoring your performance, including any necessary record keeping in that regard. Number 2, investigating irregularities and service complaints and taking corrective action. It's not just reporting irregularities. The AO is also charged with investigating. 3, the administrative official is to report to the contracting officer if there are any omitted trips and the reason for such omission. And finally, the contracting officer or the administrative official is charged with recommending any modifications, changes, discontinuance of service to route. Those are the administrative official's duties. Now, the administrative official's authority to act in regards to you, the contractor. The administrative official can approve an alternative time for you to report to duty. Still has to be sufficient time to complete the work. So that doesn't require contracting officer approval, but a change in the total time would. The administrative official can direct you not to report to duty. For example, if there's a weather issue, the administrative official can call you and say, don't come in today, the weather's too severe. In that case, if that is done orally, it would be wise for you to send an email confirming it, so now there's a written record of it. The administrative official is charged with communicating Postal Service policies on mail collection. The administrative official has the authority to approve the use of office equipment, your use of office equipment in the CDS office, or the post office. As I said before, they have the authority to approve your casing, loading, and delivery procedures. And they have the administrative official, both on CDS and HCR contracts, has the authority to order extra trips. The HCR and CDS clause are slightly different in this regard, but both provide an authorized representative here, the administrative official, to order extra trips. Note that the clause doesn't say that a form has to be issued. So the best procedure, the way it's supposed to be done, is a form of 5397 is supposed to be issued to you, authorizing the extra trip. If you are in trouble getting that form, then you may need to contact the contracting officer to get that resolved. That might be the subject of an additional video or article, because there's a lot of issues that can arise from that on extra trips. But in short, the AO has the authority to order them. Now let's talk about the interaction, your required interaction with the administrative official. You are to notify the AO of any changes in your emergency point of contact. All accidents are to be reported. You are to remain on the scene. There are additional procedures for reporting serious accidents, but any accident should be reported to the administrative official. You are to report all changes in the route, the box changes, delivery procedures must be reported to the AO. Any questions concerning schedules, extensions, or new service? Very importantly, for both HCR and CDS contracts, personnel screening goes through the administrative official. And also you're to report any arrests or convictions that occur during the course of the contract to the AO. Let's talk about what the AO cannot do. This might be in response to that question about unreasonable demands as well. The administrative official cannot amend, terminate, or change the contract. The contracting officer can do that. And we're going to talk in a second about how, well, maybe some of the things they do is on the road to changing that. But the AO by itself does not have that authority. The administrative official cannot hinder or interfere with your performance. The administrative official cannot act in bad faith towards you. So those things they cannot do. But it's not always 100% clear what is within the administrative official's authority and what isn't. And failure to comply with an authorized directive could get you terminated for default. So you can be walking a tightrope in some cases. So let's talk about the special situations now when authority of the administrative official to act is not clear or in doubt. Here's what I recommend you do. Rather than ask the contracting officer, is the AO authorized to do this or that? I mean, you can do that. The problem with doing that is you might not get an answer. And now what are you going to do? So I think first you kind of stake out a position. Say, dear contracting officer, I've been asked to do the following. Maybe some kind of additional casing procedure, some additional stops, some additional service you're providing. I've been asked by the administrative official to do X. I've been doing that. I wasn't sure if it is within the authority of the AO to do that, or whether you've authorized this. Therefore, I'm asking you. I believe that there is additional work. If additional work is involved, you have this part. I believe additional work is involved, and this would be a compensable change to the contract, for which I would seek equitable price adjustment. So in the meantime, I am complying with this directive from the AO because I understand that that is required. If this is not authorized by you, then please tell me and I will stop doing this and we'll revert to the other thing that I was doing. And you put this in writing to the contracting officer. Okay, that's what you do, because now you're not waiting. If the contracting officer doesn't respond, it's as good as if they said yes, go ahead, it's authorized. Sometimes you might find yourself in a position where you've already kind of done what the administrative official has asked you to do, and it's been a while since that time. You can still use this, and you can say, hey, for the past 6 months, past year, I've been doing this. Should I continue to do it? Or should I discontinue? If the contracting officer doesn't respond, that is essentially ratification. And now that is basically approving what you did for the past 6 months or a year. Once a contracting officer is put on notice of extra service, something outside the contract that's being done, the contracting officer has an obligation to stop the agency from accepting the benefit of those additional services. If the contracting officer doesn't do that, they've ratified what you've done. So it's not all, even if you have done something beyond this, based on what the AO said, and it's beyond what this AO can do, if you put the contracting officer on notice and the contracting officer doesn't tell you to stop doing it, it's the same as if the contracting officer instructed you to do it in the first place. So I hope that covers some of the issues you've had here. I know we're just touching the surface of some of these things. I'd be happy to talk to individuals on specific questions, and I wish you great success in your contracting with the Postals.